Hi, we are MI028, and our task is India the next superpower?
A superpower is a state with a dominant position in the international system which has the ability to influence events in its own interests and project power on a worldwide scale to protect those interests. In this case, real high economic power. India made $225.6 billion just from exports and is expecting a strong growth of 16 to 18% increase in export revenue, specializing in the export of petroleum products, IT hardwares, softwares, and agriculture. In 1990, India was a closed economy with 15% of GDP contributed by trade. After 20 years, it is now an open economy with 30% of GDP contributed by trade. India has several trade policies on tax reduction and protectionism. We will now introduce the first policy on special economic zones, which involves tax reductions. 133 special economic zones are in operation, and another 451 are soon to be set up. At present, these units in these zones enjoy 100% tax exemptions on their income for the first 5 years and 50% in the next 5 years. This increases the supplies for India's exports. Since India's price elasticity of demand for its exports is elastic, the total revenue earned will be more and hence earning more profits. India's trade policy is such that they are shifting their products they export from agriculture to petroleum products, which will fetch a higher price in the global market to increase export revenue.
The second policy, involving protectionism, bans foreign direct investment on retail multi-brand. While India is slowly changing its exports from agriculture to softwares, hardwares, petroleum products, there is a need to protect and allow the new industries to bloom. This is done through protectionism, which effectively removes the competition posed by international firms. These firms are able to provide goods of the same quality, but at a lower price, as they already benefit from economies of scale, while India's industries are still unable to produce their goods effectively. This policy meant that India bans other countries from investing in its retail sector. Hence, many corporates, like Walmart, will be unable to invest in India. As a result, this reduces India's imports, creating an artificially high demand for domestic products. This allows industries in the agriculture and petroleum sectors to survive with the imposed high demand for domestic products. This gives the government and firms time to implement effective reforms to reduce the cost of manufacturing by introducing steps such as affordable interest rates, better infrastructure, better trade facilitation, and low cost of power. In the long run, this will benefit India, as India will be able to produce goods at a lower price and compete with other firms internationally. This increases profits from exports and hence allows the economy to grow substantially. However, there is a risk in that the industries will not be able to produce their goods effectively, and that the people of India will continue to face high prices of domestic goods before the ban is lifted. Nevertheless, India still possesses the economic potential to becoming the next superpower.
While India has the high growth to propel itself to be a superpower, there are still many other factors which require consideration before claiming that India is the next superpower. India has few underlying limitations which prevents it from progressing. Widespread poverty in India and deeply entrenched corruption in the political system must be addressed. It is well known that India, despite facing poverty in certain regions, is able to achieve a sustained high rate of growth yearly. Although the number of people living in extreme poverty, that is, living under $1 a day, fell from 46% in 1987 to 34% in 2004. The actual number of extremely poor people remained the same at about 370 million. When this figure was revised by the Asian Development Bank, it was found that about 792 million people were actually living in extreme poverty, which makes up to 73% of the population. However, if India truly aims to be the next superpower, she has to first eliminate corruption. According to studies done by Transparency International, India is ranked 78 out of 178 countries on the Corruption Perceptions Index. If such widespread poverty and entrenched corruption continues to exist, India will never be a superpower of this age.
In conclusion, it will be challenging for India to become the next superpower, as it will require a long period of time to reduce the social problems she faces, while other potential candidates, such as China, who will be able to rise to the ranks of the superpowers.